The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I just want you guys to know I'm fully in the middle of a blacklist. Like, I am in the middle of a Hollywood blacklist. It is real. I am not booked on any talk shows. I'm selling tickets worldwide, which is really hard when you don't have any kind of a television platform and kind of nobody has your back and everyone thinks you're crazy. So I just want you guys to know, when I get home, I do not have one single day of paid work in front of me. And people that want me to go back and start in clubs and do 10 minutes again, I don't mean to be an asshole, but no. I'm not going to do that. I've worked way too hard to go back and work for free and do the club scene again, because this is some bullshit, because I've been blacklisted. My legal bills are through the roof, obviously, because I'm doing something I really believe in. I only have 7 more shows left on this tour, and I'm not going to lie. It's going to be hard when I go home and I don't have one show in my future. So no, I know I'm being an asshole, but no, I don't want to do free shows. I don't want to do someone's 50-person club. I did that for decades. I think I should be able to get my life back. So I know I took a picture that offended a lot of people, but this wall of crap has never fallen on any woman in the history of America like it has on me. So just, you guys, just try to have some compassion. I'm just trying to bring laughter to people. That's all I want to do. I wish I was on television. I have 2 Emmys, which apparently doesn't mean anything. And I would love to be on a television show. And I want to be paid what the guys are paid. So that's where I am coming from.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, tell there are no rich no more.
Welcome to Pot Talk, everybody. I'm Jim.
And I'm Paul. And that was the wonderful Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, begging for a job.
She's fucking begging for work. I'm in love.
I heard that. It made my day today.
I had to show Jimmy the fucking clip. I seen it. I was like, this is fucking great. Talk about karma coming back and kicking you right in the cunt, huh?
She deserves everything she got.
She deserves it, 100%. She is a vile human being, and even Democrats don't like her. They just can't stand her either. If they did, right, she'd be on Ellen, she'd be on The View, she'd be everywhere. She'd be the fucking darling of the left if they actually believed in anything she had to say. But they don't. They know what she is. Just a fucking
loser.
Yeah, and I love it because...
And she's sitting there complaining, I don't want to go back to stand-up.
Yeah, she doesn't
want
want
to
do
do
any
she ever did that I liked.
Yeah.
When she went into
her stand-up was actually good when she ranked on Hollywood and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually liked that show, The D-List.
Well, see, I didn't.
I like that.
I didn't like any of her other shit, but when she first came out, I goes, oh, there's a redheaded broad. I think I'd do her.
Ooh.
Well, no, this is when she first come out. Now you look at her. Like I said, she looks like a 52-year-old boy.
Yeah. She really is a charming person, isn't she?
She's got no sex appeal whatsoever. None.
Yep. She's got all the sex appeal of a school bus fire.
She looked better with freckles.
I wish I was listening to her on Stern, and she was talking about getting liposuction, and she almost
liposuction.
Died. Yeah, she was getting liposuction.
She's a scarecrow.
I don't know. Maybe that's why she is a scarecrow, but that's what she was talking about. I swear to God. And she said she almost died on the fucking table. Too bad, huh?
I know it really. It would have saved us a lot of aggravation. Yeah. And her.
Where's one of them nurses that kill their patients when you need one?
She would have burnt out rather than fade away.
Yeah, she would have went in a fucking blaze of glory.
Exactly. Now she's just going to fade away.
You know she's worth millions.
She used to be.
Well, whatever, is. I don't know what she's worth now, but
she's probably
did you see that house she had?
No.
Holy fuck, Jim. Wow.
It's obvious she ain't got it now.
Well, I don't know, but it was a beautiful house, and I think Malibu.
Oh, yeah? So she was up there with the rest of them?
Yeah, she was making good money.
No, if she wanted to get up there better, be a nice little liberal, show a picture of Trump with his head cut off.
You know what I mean? You stick your foot in the shit, right? Guess what? It's your fault.
Actions have consequences.
That's right. Nobody asked her, nobody told her to do that.
Exactly.
And she thought she was going to be funny. She thought she'd be the darling of the left.
Time to pop up.
Yeah, fucking fire that up. And it bit her in the ass, and I can't be happier. I really can't. It's the same old, Jim. I know nothing about politics, right? Because I can't take the time to fucking watch it and shit. But I'm going to tell you how to live.
Right.
She has no idea about Trump.
Who's the one that said Trump was right? She was, you mentioned it earlier tonight. She's a flaming liberal, and then said the more the Trump people she was with, she said she fell in love with.
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, it was
Tell
a quick
us that
article.
Story.
It was just a quick article. I expected it to be bigger. But I guess she's filming some like a semi-documentary type of thing where she goes around the country, and her idea is she's going to bring America together because she's really the fucking voice.
Reason, yeah.
Yeah, she's a fucking lunatic.
She's got a mouth, that's about it. Usually for sucking.
Yeah, that's how she got it there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I can get in trouble for this probably, but I'm going to say it anyways. She is the person in Hollywood that knows whose dick you got to suck to get a job.
Because she's sucked it.
She's been there, yeah. She's literally been there because they like that little, because she looked like a fucking 12-year-old when she was 30.
Yeah.
And of course, Hollywood's going to dive all over that. It's pedophilia without the penalty.
Exactly. Same feeling.
Yeah. She looks like a fucking 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
She's about as smart.
All she's going to do is put pigtails.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But she did say that meeting Trump supporters, she felt very comfortable. She was never belittled by them. She said she was completely surprised by it. I mean, like I said, it was a real short article. I wish it had been longer.
They elaborated, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what she said, basically.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I believe it was a Breitbart interview. Not that she did the interview with Breitbart, but it was an interview that Breitbart picked up.
Maybe she'll fucking break the back of the camel there, and everybody will start coming up.
You never fucking know. I mean, because no matter what, all right?
Either that, she's going to get dragged.
Well, she might not be the darling of the left anymore.
Right. She's putting a lot on the line. I give her a lot of credit.
But do you know what? Then come over to our camp.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an inclusive tent. We don't care. You know what? You were
you repented. You're fine.
Well, they're not repented, seen the light.
Well, don't come over here with your liberal... Well, actually, I got liberal ideas, so...
You got some liberal ideas, right. But I mean, it's not all-consuming with you either.
No.
It's not all-encompassing.
I'm not religious as far as the... You know, everybody thinks the right is being religious fanatics or heretics, and that ain't me.
Yeah, I'm
fiscally conservative.
I don't even believe in God, so I just don't.
See, I think there is some type of God, but not the one they talk about in the Bible, that's for sure. The one that's going to watch you and be there every fucking minute of your day, but yet I got to go to church to see him. It's just dumb.
Yeah, well, if God can see you everywhere, why do you got to go to church?
Right.
Yeah. I'm always poking on shit like that.
Because that's where they collect the money. It's all it is when it comes down to it. It's greed.
To me, oh yeah. It just makes no sense that there's a God. It doesn't. My heart wants to believe in a God, but my head says this is complete bullshit. It just makes no sense. But on that note, right? I don't believe. I don't jump into any crowd. I've never protested anything, got out there with a sign or I was in Cub Scouts for like a month.
I remember carrying a sign, but for what? I don't know.
Never did no after school sports. You know what I mean? I've never been a participator, right? And that goes to religion too. I never participated. I mean, I was made to go when I was young, but
I never went
was
on the religious camping trips or any of
No.
that. Well, one, we couldn't afford it.
I went to CCD, and that was only because my mother
that
made
was
me
it.
go.
And the same here.
It's like, I don't want to spend my Saturdays here. I just did 5 days of school.
My mother was the Catholic.
Your father wasn't?
Protestant.
Yeah, well, he can be.
Actually, he didn't. I don't think he did anything for church. He's never been an atheist as far as I'm concerned.
My father really, being an Italian, full-blooded Italian.
He should have been a Catholic, Roman Catholic.
Both sides. My mother and father, both Roman Catholic, Irish and Italian. And, but my mother was the one that forced us to go to church, and it wasn't my father. My father could have given 2 shits.
Maybe he didn't care about it.
Actually, he would have rather us been in the yard on Sunday handing him the tools when he was working on the car. You know what I mean? Than at fucking church. At least working on a car's a skill. What the fuck you getting out of... Well, unless you become like a Jimmy Swaggart and you just...
priest.
Yeah, but you're not going to get rich being a priest.
No,
you'll get laid.
No, you get rich. Yeah, exactly.
But you're not going to get rich.
But you give up everything, all your material, everything.
Yeah, fuck that. No way. No way.
As long as you can't go give up sex. Like I said, to me, the sex was everything to live for. If you can't have sex anymore, there was nothing to live for.
Well, first of all, it is like the first, besides breathing and eating, right? The next thing we do, well, pooping, is making more of us.
Right, reproducing.
Yeah. And they're trying to take away one of the most basic bodily functions.
And girls can actually have kids as soon as, 10, 11 years old.
It's happened, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's nature.
Yeah. Well,
that's nothing we can control. We can't prolong it.
There was a reason for that. Was because girls most likely either died during childbirth or you lived to be fucking, 35, 40 years old. So if you wanted to be able to raise your children, you had to start young. Now we live to 70 and 80, the average person. And...
Well, to go to George H.W., 93.
93.
The oldest president.
Yep.
To ever live.
Yeah. Can't win them all. Wish it had been Reagan.
Alzheimer's kicked in.
Yeah, that's a shame. What a fucking shame. Great mind like that being fucking ravaged.
Malcolm Young, same thing.
Yeah, but he was young when it happened. No pun intended. 64.
64, yeah, exactly.
But the dementia set in before he died. So you're figuring probably like 59.
Good 10 years.
Well, did you just say 59? That's real young for dementia to set in.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm having a problem thinking it's dementia, but it's short-term memory.
Yeah, do you know what it is, Jimmy? Sometimes you just like me, sometimes you don't pay attention. That's all it is. It's a lifetime of people talking to you about shit you don't want to hear, so you shut it the fuck off.
Pretty much.
It's not dementia, and I got my own lighter. It's just I don't give a fuck. That's what it is. And you know what? There's no pill for that. It's no pill.
No, there ain't. Not yet.
Well, actually, there is a pill for it. And anything that's fatal, I don't give a fuck anymore. I just want a couple end-it-alls.
Fentanyls, isn't that an end-all?
Yeah, fentanyl is an end-it-all.
Isn't that a way to go?
Oh, yeah. From what I hear, a fucking wild way.
What do you mean a wild way?
Fucking
convulsion and
stuff?
stuff?
I don't know, but I hear fentanyl fucks you up, man. Like heroin can't.
No, but when you go down, you basically passed out.
Well, yeah, I would assume,
and then you die. So, like I said, that's an easy
But
way
I mean,
to
it
go.
must give you a fucking massive rush.
I'd rather
before
go
you
that
pass
way
out.
than whatever they do with the needles and when they condemn you to death.
No, basically that's what
needle.
they give you. They give you shit like that. They give you something to knock you out,
Right.
and then they kill you.
Right.
But it's something like fentanyl or something like that they probably give you. You fucking have a huge fucking head rush, you go fucking nighty-night, and then they hit you with the fucking death juice.
Well, sometimes you end up flopping like a fish on the table, sometimes you don't.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I know.
Have a hard time feeling mercy.
They feel. I know the gods feel better when you're flopping. You know what I mean? That gives them incentive, motive.
Well, one guy fucking hit the pool.
What is it? morale. It increases the morale when they see you flopping.
Oh boy, he fucking. Well, I won the pool. Everyone takes him out for a fucking drink. Do you know what the funny part is, right? After they execute you, like an hour later, you're at the fucking like at the fucking the funeral home, and all your families they're having a wake. It's like, well, he is free. He is dead, but he's not behind bars no more. It's one way out. Jimmy, let me ask you a question.
What's that?
How the fuck did we get from Kathy Griffin to fucking death sentences?
All right, but how do we get the death sentences to Wendell Brown?
I can do that.
I
can get us there.
Go ahead, because we're ready to go.
There's a football player in China being held. He went over there to help a buddy that was coaching a football team over in China.
I think she said Dakota. If if I heard it right.
Huh?
The football team Dakota.
I know it was over in China.
Yeah.
And he was also a blackhead. He was also helping players that didn't speak English.
Right.
That wanted to learn English, speak English.
The players.
Yes. And this kid had never been in trouble as far as I know. Can't say that because I didn't. But as far as I know, he's never been in trouble. He went to a birthday party and with a friend. And as he was leaving the bar, a bunch of locals, Chinese locals, started throwing rocks and bottles at him. I don't know if they were taunting him, whatever. But when he tried to defend himself, he was the only one arrested. And now he's in a fucking Chinese jail. And the kid, what was his name again? Brown.
Wendell Brown.
Wendell Brown, thank you. His mom wants Trump to get him home. And she's making an appeal to him. And I think this kid, if everything pans out what I've heard, and I haven't heard a lot, I hope this kid gets home because he seems like a good kid that was just trying to help and got caught in a bad circumstance. So I would like to see Trump step in if the kid's deserving. Do you got the clip set up?
Yeah, I got the clip set up, but I think she said something. He got arrested for intention to harm.
Right, because he tried to defend himself.
Intention to hurt.
Well, I only heard the beginning of the clip.
But that's the crime he got arrested for.
All right, well, play the clip and let the people decide.
All right, folks, we'll see you in a few. It's 5 minutes, 17 seconds.
President Trump intervened when 3 UCLA basketball players were detained in China for shoplifting, helping them return home safely. But the father of one of those players, LeVar Ball, downplayed the president's help. Listen.
It wasn't like he was in the U.S. and said, okay, there's 3 kids in China, I need to go over there and get them. I would say thank you if he would have put him on his plane and took him home. Then I would have said, thank you, Mr. Trump, for taking my boys out of China and bringing them back to the U.S.
Now, the mother of another sports star stuck in China is pleading for President Trump's help to release her son from a Chinese jail where he's been held for over a year. And she says she'd never stop thanking President Trump for his help.
Mother of former Ball State linebacker Wendell Brown, Antoinette Brown, joins us now. Antoinette, thank you for being here. Thanks for sharing this story. And my heart just goes out to you. I cannot imagine what it's like to have a son trapped overseas in a prison where you can't see him and can't get word of how he's doing. If you could just share with us a little bit of the story about how he ended up going to China and ended up in this situation.
He ended up going to China to help a friend coach the Dockers football team, and he was also teaching English to the teammates that didn't know English. He had been there for a year and ended up going to a friend's birthday party at a bar, and he was attacked by a group of locals throwing bottles at him. And unfortunately, he was the only one arrested after the attack on his life.
Antoinette, it sounded, reading the story, he was approached by a few locals to have drinks. He declined, and that it was a sort of a sign of disrespect in that culture, and they started attacking him and all these things. He didn't start a fight, didn't want to be in a fight, yet he finds himself in a Chinese prison right now. What is he being charged with, and what do you know about the process right now?
What they're trying to charge him with is intentional injury, and I understand their process is lengthy, their legal system, and we're waiting. He had 2 lawyers that did an amazing job with proving his innocence during the trial, but still 4 months later, we're still waiting for the judge to give a verdict or sentencing, and we pray for fair justice for an innocent man.
Internet, let me just give you the floor here. What would you like to say to President Trump right now?
I would humbly ask for him to help my son that's in an unfortunate situation, and I would be truly grateful and most definitely would thank him with no problem.
You know, one of the things I was reading in this article is that you've hired a lawyer, of course, and you haven't been allowed to actually speak with your son. It's very difficult to communicate him. But you were told that if you came up with $100,000 in U.S. restitution, that potentially your son could be released. Do you think that's actually the case? Is it as a matter of $100,000, which of course is a significant sum, but would that alone send him home?
No, that was in the beginning. When they give you the first 30-something days to negotiate with the accuser and to try to resolve it before it even gets to the stage level where it goes to trial. But they were not fair with negotiating because, of course, we can't afford $100,000. We can't afford $80,000. And so we had no choice but to allow the situation to go to trial, praying that he would receive fair justice.
Internet, you just spent Thanksgiving without your son. How are you doing, and how's he doing? Have you had recent contact, to find out how his conditions are?
Once a month, the U.S. consulate goes to meet with him, take letters and pictures from the family and friends. And he returned letters to us and messages and saying he's holding up fine. He's staying prayerful. He meditates and reads his Bible daily. And it's just really heartbreaking and sad for the family that he's not with us to celebrate like usual.
Antoinette, your son's name is Wendell Brown. He's 30 years old. He's a former 3-year linebacker at Ball State. Went over to China to teach English and coach in a league over there. Found himself in an unfortunate situation like so many Americans. Only hopes that his government will do whatever they can to bring him back. That's why we brought you on this morning. Thank you for sharing your story. Hope you had the best Thanksgiving possible, and may your next Thanksgiving be even better.
Welcome back to Pot Talk.
That was a great clip.
Yeah, it was.
The woman wasn't very eloquent, to say the least.
Well, she's a product of inner city schools.
Right, yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong, she's probably a sweetheart.
Exactly.
But, once again, that is what our public school systems are producing. She's just horrible. And the poor kid, he probably did nothing wrong. According to her, he refused to have a drink with some people over there, which is considered an insult. But I will bet you, I could be wrong, but I'm going to bet you, they were taunting him and shit first,
Whether
right?
he had a drink with them or not, they would have found an excuse.
Exactly.
They would have found it. Like I said, that's why he did the smartest move. It's like,
And said,
no, thank you, see you later.
I'll be over here with my friends.
I'm not here to amuse you.
Yeah, I'm not your fucking Toby, all right? And the fucking kid's over there doing a buddy a favor. And the woman couldn't be more gracious to Trump about saying, yeah, I'll thank him. Right. Because you know in her community, and you can tell in her community, she's going to take a hit for that fucking interview on Fox. She don't care. She wants her boy back. She wants her child home.
And she said she'd thank the president every day if
Yeah.
she had to.
That's right. That's a woman who cares about a child. She
Right.
obviously did a good job raising them.
Right, exactly.
I mean, he's
Like I
over
said,
there
that's
teaching English.
she was one left her second, the next generation smarter than the first generation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
She passed on and made them better.
Yes. Yes. And like I said, he's over there teaching these people English. He's coaching a football team. He's probably not bothering anyone.
No, I know. They just, like a Chinese, hate blacks. Asians too.
I don't understand why he was the only one arrested. Somebody else.
They're intimidated by blacks, so that's why they hate him.
Well, yeah, because they are a short people, and
Yeah,
black people are a
exactly.
tall people in a lot of cases.
Right, so not only dick-wise, but fucking life-wise,
Well, that goes
they're
without saying.
inferior. So that's why they don't like them.
Yeah, you're talking two total different ends of the spectrum
Yeah, I
on
know.
that. Thank God we fall somewhere in the middle.
Not far from the beginning.
Yeah.
4 inches.
Oh, but you gotta feel the anguish of this poor mother. Her kid's not like, the next state over or on the other side of the country.
Right.
He's in fucking China.
And they won't let you see him even if you did fly.
And even if you did
If
fly
you
over there,
spent
I'm sure
everything
she
you
doesn't
had.
have the means to do
No,
that.
that's what I'm saying. Even if she spent everything she had to get over there, just to say you
Just
can't
to
get
say
in.
you can't get in.
Yeah.
And fucking send
that
you
was
home.
that was a fucking waste of a lot of money.
Yeah, my life savings.
Like I said, she must be calling the Trump thing. I bet you he's working on it.
Well, I am very glad that Fox gave her a voice to be heard.
Yes.
Because I
Maybe
guarantee you,
he'll get
CNN
him
and them. Do you know what? I shouldn't say that. I don't know because I haven't gone searching, but I will search for that to see if CNN or MSNBC or any of the major networks gave her an interview to appeal to Trump
No, they
for her
didn't.
son's release.
I bet you they did.
I bet you they didn't. I could be wrong, but I'm going to bet no. Fox
Because she
the only
was
one that
all
did it.
for Trump. Like I said, she would
Well, I'm sure she was.
appreciate him every day.
I'm sure she was not Trump's biggest fan before this happened. But the fact is,
But she had no
she's seen-
reason not to be a Trump fan.
well, because her community would ostracize her,
Right,
first
that's
of
the
all.
only reason. Other than that, there's absolutely no ideological reason
Yeah.
why she would be against Trump.
And once again, not the most eloquent woman speaking, but like I said, she's obviously not an idiot. She raised a good kid. You know what I mean?
right.
So
Like you said, he said
she
no.
may have been for Trump and just kept it on the fucking
Look
low.
at that. He knows for a fact over there. He must know. Chinese
But
haters.
you gotta remember,
Don't
she's
get into
the
a gang with them, especially drinking.
Right, but you got to remember,
He
she
went to
also
a birthday
seen,
party.
She also seen them 3 kids from the basketball team. Trump got home
Right.
and said, "Oh shit," because her kid's been in jail for over a year,
Okay.
and she's like, "Fuck," he got them home,
Over a year.
and they all gave
For
a half
refusing to
heart and
drink.
fucking the father being a dick, which was in the beginning of that clip. The father of the basketball kid. If he had flown him home on Air Force One, I would have.
Yeah,
bagged him.
exactly.
Fuck yourself. I wish the landing gear hit you in the head while you were standing on the runway waiting for your kid to come home.
You're the ones that should be in China doing time.
Yeah, you're an
You
idiot.
know what I mean? Because you don't give 2 shits about your son's freedom.
Yeah, just that he didn't get a ride home on Air Force
Yeah,
One.
exactly. Like I said,
That was
send
his
him
dream.
to fucking China to do the 5-10 years
Yeah.
for shoplifting.
Smart ass. Yeah, they don't fuck around, huh?
No, they don't. You can't blame them because that's how chaos starts.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what's
right.
wrong with this country.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But then again,
We
if they were
can't
doing it
afford to
here,
keep
you'd
them
be the
jail.
first one saying, "Giving him 5 years for shoplifting, that's ridiculous." You know what I mean?
No,
So-
but that would stop shoplifting.
Oh, fuck yeah, it would.
It would cost us a great lot of money in the
Oh,
beginning
boy.
to house all these people.
Do you know if you ever tried to do that with the ACLU and fucking every fucking, excuse me,
It's still
every
they can,
fucking
they
group
can
out there would
scream
try to
and all they want, but they can't fight Congress. They say this is law of the land. That's
Right.
law of the land.
Yeah, try getting that through Congress.
It would.
What?
Well, the Democrats are going downhill. You do know that.
Yeah, but Jim,
their party's exploded. They just don't know it yet.
Right. But the Republican Party has become a bunch of soft fucking liberals. They're liberals that put an R in front of their name. And there's a good hunk of them out there.
Yeah, Susan Collins, you mean? John McCain?
Yeah. Fucking McConnell, fucking Graham, fucking Flake, fucking... they're everywhere, Jim. Yeah, they're everywhere.
And there's going to be more of them.
There's going to be more of them because
that's why I think Steve Banner's going to help in one way, but I just don't like his name because they think he's a fucking, that's because they attacked him. He's a white nationalist, white supremacist.
He's everything.
He's all the fucking everything that no black person should vote for. You know what I mean?
And when all he really cares about is getting fucking jobs back to the United States.
America for everybody. He's not a racist. He doesn't give a fuck what color you are. Exactly.
He just wants you working.
But they're making him out as one. You know, he's not. He's a white supremacist.
Yeah. Fucking
no, do I want to be treated the same as everybody else? Yes. Does that make me a white supremacist? I don't think so.
Nah, it doesn't. It makes you the exact opposite.
I just want fair and equal treatment under the law.
My brother Mike says it the best about welfare and shit. I know I've said this before, but I'll throw it out real quick. He's like, if I was a racist, right?
Yeah.
He's got 5 kids. He goes, I would want your kids on welfare so they're not competing for the good jobs with my kids. And you live on welfare, and my kids get the great job, and they'll pay the fucking tax to keep you in poverty. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. I want everyone out there competing in the market. If you're better than me at something, and that's the way it goes, give a fuck what color you are. You get the job. And I'll just apply for the next one down the road. What are we doing here, Jimmy?
I'm going to another clip.
Oh, okay.
If I can find it, it's going to take me a while.
All right. Do we have to do commercials?
Well, I got rid of it.
Oh, okay, so we're going straight through.
Yeah, we're going straight.
Oh, okay, great. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want the people upstairs mad at us for not putting them in.
Immigration costs. That's what I'm looking for. All right, folks. You want to let her in?
Yeah. Go ahead.
We got a little clip here from Tucker Carlson. It's about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And it's self-explanatory. We'll see you in a few.
Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. One of the most striking features of the debate over immigration in America is the fact that it's not much of a debate. You'll notice the failure, indeed the refusal of our elites to grapple with what exactly it means to allow millions of low-skilled workers from around the world to move here. When it comes to details about that, they quote the Statue of Liberty and they move on quickly. Maybe they don't really want to know much about the effects of their policies. Maybe they really believe that every immigrant is a high school valedictorian or some world-class STEM talent who's only prevented from founding the next Apple or curing cancer by the bigotry of native-born Americans. Maybe they really think that. Well, either way, facts rarely enter into the conversation. It's wholly emotional. But facts still matter, and tonight we have some. A new study by the Federation for American Immigration Reform finds that this country's approximately 11 million illegal immigrants cost taxpayers about $135 billion per year in medical, education, and law enforcement expenses. Now, there's an offset to this, taxes. And yet, according to the study, these illegal immigrants pay only about $19 billion a year in taxes. That leaves a deficit, which you pay, of $116 billion. Now, even by Washington standards, that's a huge number. To put it into some perspective, Americans spend only about $70 billion every year paying tuition at public colleges and universities. So if you eliminated the expenses of illegal immigrants, we could make every public college in the country tuition free and still have nearly $50 billion left over to, I don't know, fix decaying infrastructure or subsidize health insurance to the middle class, or probably a lot more. So it's worth considering as we debate border control and amnesty, these numbers. But we also have Another set of numbers. These from the Center for Immigration Studies on chain migration. Now, when advocates in New York or Washington tell you about immigration, they always pretend as if there's an economic rationale for it. It's important, like every immigrant is a high qualified expert in a coveted field and needs to be here for the sake of our economy. In fact, according to the numbers, government numbers, your typical immigrant to the U.S. is simply related to somebody who's already here, usually a previous immigrant. According to DHS data, in recent years, every so-called initiating immigrant, the first one, has brought an average of 3.5 family members into the country with him. For some countries, the rate is even higher. Each legal immigrant from Mexico has brought an average of more than 6 additional family members here as well. Now, many of these family members have little prospect for contributing economically. For instance, 24% of immigrants are older than 50. So if they become U.S. citizens, they can become eligible for Social Security and Medicare despite paying very little into those programs. Now, none of this is an attack on anyone as an individual. We're willing to believe that most of these people, these immigrants, are good people because they likely are good people. But it's still an extremely expensive proposition for America, far more than most people understand. Now, all of this ought to weigh heavily on Congress as it debates passing an amnesty for DACA beneficiaries. Supposedly, this will only benefit a small group, a limited group of illegal immigrants who came here as kids. But if 700,000 DACA recipients become legal citizens, of course, they, under the rules of chain migration, will bring many more. Estimates suggest millions more, including parents and siblings who may also have entered this country illegally. Now, wherever you are on this question, these are serious matters. They deserve a serious debate in Congress, and yet don't count on that happening. On the left, the only interest is admitting as many immigrants as possible for the sake of getting and holding political power. That's the whole game right there. And on the right, many Republicans only care about pleasing the business interests that fund their campaigns, who'd like to see labor costs kept as low as possible, and low-wage immigration certainly does that. The concerns of regular voters, those who worry about their ability to stay afloat with stagnant wages, pay their mortgage, send their kids to summer camp, pay off their car loan, fear losing their cultural cohesion of their country, no one cares about them. If they think about those worries at all in Congress, it's only to tell voters their concerns are silly, illegitimate, and they're bigots for having them.
We're back.
There we are.
I just thought I'd throw that in. Like I said, the immigration costs. Yeah. They're great for the community. They're an asset.
Yep.
They're such a liability. It's unfucking believable.
We've heard from the left forever how they help the economy, and I ask people how, and they always say paying taxes. That's what they always say. They pay taxes. Yeah, they do.
19 billion, but it cost us 135 billion to have them.
Yes, and he didn't even count in because he said education. What was it? Education, policing, and housing? No, and medical. Right now, he hasn't even counted in housing, food stamps, all the other benefits that come with fucking welfare.
Right.
Add that in on top of it.
Schooling, medical.
Well, right, but that was what the 135 billion was.
Right.
It covered policing, schooling, and medical. That he didn't even touch on housing and feeding.
Right.
That's another huge expense.
Right.
Especially the housing.
Like I said, when these people, just DACA alone, 700,000, if they give them amnesty.
And they keep saying it's 700,000.
Well, no, then they do the chain reaction or the chain migration.
The chain migration, yeah.
Yeah, and next thing you know, it's over about 6 million people.
But you got to remember, Jimmy, if they're saying it's 730,000, just say, right?
Right.
It's really a million. It's really 1.2 million.
More than that, double it.
Just on what they're lying about them numbers to begin with.
Look at the 11 million illegals here. It's close to 40.
At 30 anyways. Yeah. It's fucking amazing. It really astounds me.
I'd stake my life on 30.
Everything I do, I have to pull a fucking permit or get a fucking license for, right? If I don't, they fucking drop the fucking heavy-handed government on me.
Right.
These people cross a border and are given stuff.
Right.
If I fish without a license, right, they take my stuff and then fine me. They can jail me for it.
Right.
For fishing without a license. They cross an international border. They're given housing, medical, food, education.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to not be pissed about that.
Well, you're just a lousy citizen.
Well, do you know what it is, Jimmy? It's that I'm a racist.
But
I'm
if
a
you
fucking
care
racist.
about it, you are a racist.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you something right now. If Irish people or Italian people were flooding the border and fucking sucking up welfare and not obeying the laws and driving without a license, shit-faced, killing people, right? I'd be just as pissed at them. I'd say, send every one of them fucking guinea pricks or them fucking Irish fucking assholes home. Send them home. They're not supposed to be here. I can't break the law without paying a penalty. I mean, I do sometimes. Just did, actually. But that's not the point. The point is, everything, like I said, everything I have to do, I have to ask permission to do. Everything. And it comes with a payment. A monetary payment. And I'm fucking sick of it.
What do you mean monetary?
Well, say I want to go fishing. I have to buy a fishing license.
Exactly.
If I want to,
well, they got to pay the rangers there to
if I want
check
to
you
build
out.
if I want to build a deck on my house, right?
You got to get a permit.
I got to pull a permit. Then I got to pay for an inspector to inspect it.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I want to get married, which I will never do again. I gotta fucking get a marriage license,
right.
And it costs money. Everything. Register a car. Fucking everything.
Justice of the peace, they charge you.
Yes. And these people cross the border, right? And instead of paying in, they're receiving. They've committed a crime. They don't pay a penalty. They get a payment for it.
Right.
That'd be great. Just imagine if they paid you to drive around shit-faced. I would love it. I mean, I would excel at that.
Exactly. I've actually excelled at it.
I got a couple under the belt myself.
Like I said, the only time I got pulled over drunk is because I deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
I ran a guy off the road. I fucking smashed into a police cruiser.
Ooh.
Knocked him off the road.
You really rammed into a police cruiser drunk.
Drunk. Well, he was chasing me, so we were going to Woburn Center, and I
so it was his
pushed
fault.
him off the road.
Well, he had it coming.
He
shouldn't have been chasing you.
Exactly. That's what I figured.
Oh, that's like a one. Oh my God! I wish I had that on video. That'd be the best thing ever. I would watch
that. It was
that.
my sister's car, Joe Savino's wife.
Oh, well, no wonder why Joe fucking hates you.
Yeah, like I said, took his car and fucking. Oh, he took off from her. He was out trucking. That's one of the times he separated from her, and I was living with her.
Oh, that's great.
Well, they took the car, they impounded it, and I went over to the car because I knew it was Woburn keeps their impounded cars. I checked, you open it up, and it was the cylinder there with all the wires.
Oh, you mean the fucking distributor
cap? Yeah, I found the middle one, which didn't belong there. I pulled it out, followed it, and all I had to do was switch and put it back together, and so I was out of there.
Yeah, so it's a fucking
minutes.
coil wire.
Yeah, because I had a second key.
That's
so I was out of there.
When I was a repo man, that's what I always did. When I wanted to disable a car, I'd open up the hood and I'd pull the fucking coil wire from the coil to the distributor.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking...
Well,
and
this
even if they
switch
figured out,
one from the distributor, but it was easy to find out by opening it up and following the one in the middle. Where is it? That's the one this one belongs
it
on.
belongs there. Zoom.
I'm out of there.
I stole my car back from Cody's.
They never said a word to me. They never tried to charge me for taking the car.
I never heard from Cody's either. I did the same thing from a drunk driver.
Must be some kind of law that doesn't allow you to do it or something.
They pulled me over. They busted me for drunk driving. They let me leave. They gave me a ticket. Lawrence Police Department, swear to God, gave me a ticket for it. And I went back to the next day to Cody's. And I said, yeah, I'm just here to grab some shit out of my car. They had the key. Vroom, started up, fucking drove it away. Fucking GTI. They never stopped me, nothing. Never heard from them again. I figured the cops are going to be at my house and shit. Never showed up. Never showed up. I had to get home, though.
Alright, let's go on to Al Franken and John Coyes.
Oh, yeah, Al Franken. The pompous ass. He really is a fucking pompous ass.
See, I don't mind the picture where he had his fingers on Kevlar. I don't mind that. It's the one where he shoved his tongue down the woman's throat.
Look.
You know what I mean? That I can understand her getting really pissed off.
I wouldn't have minded the Kevlar
That's
thing.
An invasion of privacy.
I wouldn't have minded the hands on the Kevlar. Had that been before the tongue down the throat.
Right, but I explained that. He did that afterwards just to piss her off.
Right, and it did, and she acted accordingly.
She rejected him.
That's right. She said, don't do that to me ever again.
Right. She
and
rejected
then he
him.
did that to her to be a dick.
To be a dick. Because he knew he'd see it when she got the copy of the photos.
That's right. And he thought, oh, I'm just a comedian, so it's no big deal. Because you can always write it off. I'm a comedian. You know what I mean?
Like Kathy Griffin did. Like Kathy Griffin did. She's just a comedian.
But you got to remember, this was how many years ago?
Yeah, I know.
Right? So he thought, I'll just write it off as I'm a comedian, right? Then he's in the Senate. And all this shit with Weinstein and fucking...
all caught up to him.
And every woman came out of the woodwork, right?
I'm waiting for new ones.
Yeah. There'll be more.
There'll be more.
And look, if it really happened, you have a right to be heard. Absolutely. I don't like the idea of waiting 20 years.
Right. Everything's a crime.
Yeah. Right. Not necessarily a crime.
Right.
Is it creepy?
Inappropriate? Yeah. Now, why they want to turn it into a crime?
Well, they want to turn everything into a crime, Jim, so everyone is a felon.
Right. They want men to keep their hands to themselves. Like, that's what women want.
Well, what they want
and it ain't, because they dress that way, so men would put their hands on them. It makes no sense.
I don't even care about the dressing part and stuff, right? I know right from wrong. I know appropriate behavior and inappropriate behavior. I've never been accused of it in any way, shape, or form. And I can understand in a drunken setting that maybe something inappropriate can happen. But usually it's two drunken people and they brush it off and they go, whatever.
Right.
But when you use your position of power, right? Because a lot of these people have power over the other person. Do you want, you're not going to get work and shit, right? And they were afraid to speak up because, they worked their whole life to get to this point. And now if they speak up, they're going to lose everything they've worked for. That I understand. Totally understand it and agree with it. It's the ones that are out there just looking for their 15 minutes of fame. Even if it's true, right? Now they're looking for their 15 minutes of fame because they didn't give a fuck about it back then. Now they suddenly do. Suddenly they have a moral compass. Them are the people I take offense to. And there's plenty of them out there. And Al Franken can say whatever he wants about, he was the first to jump on the Roy Moore thing.
Exactly.
Roy Moore's not admitting to nothing. He admitted to nothing. He said it's all bullshit. Al Franken, on the other hand, admitted to
everything.
And there was a picture to prove it. And that was the best part.
Well, that was it, the picture. He denies the mouth fucking thing, I think. Actually, we don't know. We're going to find out tomorrow.
I guess tomorrow he's going to make a statement.
He's going to make a statement in
Yay.
public. Yeah, so many days to prepare for this.
Yeah.
How the fuck can he go wrong?
Yeah, and it's and it's amazing how much coverage Roy Moore gets, right? When he's denying everything. And the ones that have admitted to it on the Democratic side had no coverage.
And the ones that
very little.
settled with taxpayer money.
Yeah, using the slush fund.
Slush fund.
What's his name? Al
Kanye.
Green. Al Green's one of them. The guy that's been calling for
The
Trump's
impeachment.
fucking impeachment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and-
Looks like fucking Captain Caveman from the Saturday morning cartoon. Fucking Neanderthal fuck. Pays out over $800,000 of our money to hush some broad up. But that's legit. I mean, there's nothing fishy there. I mean, that seems like an everyday occurrence to you, right, Jim?
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know in my life, as I go about my busy day, right, I'm constantly paying fucking women off that I sexually harassed with taxpayer money. That's fucking great. That just proves to me that the government gives no fucks about me. And that's why I really don't give any fucks about them. I love watching them fucking eat themselves. All the liberals that were saying every woman needs to be heard and the fucking higher ground and shit. And now it's coming home to roost to them. And all they can say is some fucking phony-ass statement that some fucking lawyer wrote at 3 o'clock in the morning and handed to him. I feel bad about this. I have the utmost respect for women, and it sickens me that I did this.
Right. It's just the
No, it
opposite
doesn't.
of all dread.
No, it doesn't sicken you.
All
You
right.
did it. How many things, Jim, have you done that has sickened you?
None.
Yeah, none. I've done nothing that sickens me. Is there some shit I'm disappointed about? Yeah.
Would it sicken other people? I'm sure.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's the
But it didn't sicken me.
That's for another episode. Write that down.
Another episode.
Yeah, we'll have people call in and tell you shit that you did that's sickened them.
Right. I wouldn't even know who to call.
Yeah, well, I'm not participating in this. And thank God my mom's dead. I need her calling in.
Is it my mother and father are dead?
But I do love watching the fucking mighty fall. And the best part is, it's not so much their stature that they're senators and stuff. It's these smug ass ones that it happens to. I wouldn't care if they were a grocery store clerk, right? If they were just a smug asshole and shit bit them in the ass, it's like, fuck you, glad to see it.
You know how many people are going out looking after Corker and Flake and seeing what they did in their past? Touched, pinched, anything?
Every single Republican right now is under a fucking microscope.
Everybody is in Senate, in the Congress.
Well, yeah, but the Democrats
Everyone.
like to... Well, Al Franken's not going to pay any price.
Well, he'll resign.
I don't think he will.
He'll eventually resign.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he
Well,
will.
do you know what it's going to take is some more women to come forward.
Right.
It's going to be one that's got something really great to
Yeah,
say.
exactly.
too.
He actually
It's-
raped me.
Yeah, and she gets into detail, like real detail.
He actually raped me.
He brought the jar of lube, you know. He bought it at the CVS down the street.
Like I said, somebody goes in my background, they're going to say I pulled the train on a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the good thing is, Jimmy, most likely she's probably dead now.
No, she's not.
Oh, she isn't?
No.
Oh, we can arrange that.
And she didn't say no, so like I said.
Then it's not a rape, it's a train.
Yeah, I didn't force her to fuck. She wanted to fuck me. It was when I said next.
Well, the only thing I'd arrest her for is bad taste.
And then you look at, well, no, then when the next kid get on this, she didn't want
to. Did he go anyway?
Well, his name was Jimmy, too. Just pretend
Dude!
Jimmy.
No last names.
Jimmy.
Yeah, okay, you said Jimmy too. I thought you were saying Jimmy, like, last name. I was like...
I didn't give his, what do you call it there, his nickname. Like, none of us were called...
No nickname.
None of us were called Jimmy, but there was 4 of us that hung around. We're all called Jimmy.
Sounds like the lacrosse team.
But we grabbed by the legs, we were forcing him in and out.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
that's lovely. I'm sure fucking our listeners like to hear about your fucking perversions.
I forgot I'm on here.
Yeah, you're getting way too descriptive, Jim.
Wow. Think we're gonna have to cut this?
No, we're not. We're not cutting this. This is fucking great. I just wanted to shut you off before you incriminated yourself anymore.
Thought I did.
No, you definitely did. Thank God you didn't give no real names. Like I said, my past is, there's nothing violent. I have no violent history and nothing like that. None. Just drunk driving charges. Everything was driving charges. Everything.
I got them too, but I got a lot of assault and batteries with shot foot.
I got a simple
baseball bat, my car.
I got a simple assault, and I was probably like 22 when I was found guilty. And the only reason I pled guilty to it was because they wanted to give me assault and battery with a deadly weapon. It was bullshit. It's no fucking deadly weapon. But they said simple assault. It's not a felony. You walk. $100 fine. Simple assault it is. And that was it. Like I said, everything else is all driving charges. Well, there's a cocaine charge in there. Oh, and a couple marijuanas. But I mean, nothing violent. And like rob anyone for
cocaine. But cocaine wasn't a felony?
No, not simple possession.
I didn't know that.
No, possession's not a felony. Only intention to distribute.
It wasn't. Well, actually, it was for part. It was a felony.
No.
Yes, it was. Back in the 60s, 70s.
Well, 60s, 70s, Jim. I was a fucking... I was this big.
Yeah, I understand. But still, it was a felony.
Well, I didn't get bagged back then. It was in the 80s. In the 90s, maybe. But then I was found not guilty on the last one.
90s, I got busted in North Reading for fucking marijuana. The cop, he heard there were people out back snorting coke.
Yeah.
But it was the wrong night.
At the bowling alley?
Yeah, it was the wrong night. We're the pot smokers.
Yeah. Thursday nights, the coke.
We're outside and behind there. I'm rolling the joint. He comes up in a blazer. It's unmarked or whatever. A blazer, and he's flashing his badge. I'm thinking he's waving at me. I start fucking rolling one hand. I wave at him, and I go back to rolling again.
Hey, what's up, brother?
And then we find out he's a police officer. I dropped the bag. I dropped the joint.
This is in the town I grew up in. I know the bowling alley quite well.
We used to have a room in there where they kept all the equipment and stuff, they had new balls and stuff like that. Well, we went. They let us go in there. They gave us the key. We called it the magic room. We go in there and puff up.
Yeah.
And come out and our average would all increase.
I knew the fucking people that ran it. Can't say the name once again.
Yeah,
that place was a fucking. You'd open up the bathroom.
We played on Friday nights because it was hard to get people there on Friday nights, I guess. But
the little balls, right?
Little balls.
Yeah. And for people that don't know what little balls is, that's like handle pin bowling.
Yeah, it was like 5 to 8. We had it for or something like that. But if we would get there at 7:30, and we'd have to do all 10 strings in fucking a half an hour, we were just whipping down the fucking thing.
Then you had the theater right across the street. Another place. You open up the bathroom door, it was like a fucking blizzard. Just fucking snow blowing out the fucking door. Fucking whole town. Holy Christ.
We're well over time here.
Oh, shit. All right, well, we're going to have to edit this in certain places, so,
we'll get fitted. So, we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, and Jimmy's not cutting out any of that bullshit he was talking about earlier. It's not happening. It's not.
I don't even remember it, but it might be.
No.
All right. Good night, folks.
And a big shout out to the troops serving here and overseas.
And prayers for the 3 that are missing on the plane crash heading to the Ronald Reagan. What a shit show that must have been.
God bless.
Take care.
Donald Trump last week went to Milwaukee because of the rioting behind a police shooting of a young African-American male by a black officer. And the city was being burned down in certain parts of the black community by protesters. So Donald Trump decided to go to Milwaukee and speak about the conditions of America and why he felt black people should vote for him. He even went on to lay out reasons why he felt we should. Let me say this to the brothers and sisters who listened and watched that speech. We may not like the vessel that said what he said, but I ask us to truly examine what he said, because it is a fact that for 54 years, we have been voting for the Democratic Party like no other race in America, and they have not given us the same loyalty and love that we have given them. We as black people have to re-examine the relationship.
I agree.
Where we're being pimped like prostitutes, and they're the big pimps pimping us politically, promising us everything, and we get nothing in return. We got to step back now as black people and say we got to look at all the parties and vote our best interests.
Look, I couldn't agree with you more, Quidel. But you're right.
He spoke directly to black people.
Right.
And I want to say and encourage the brothers and sisters, Barack Obama, our president, served 2 terms. The first black president ever. But did our condition get better? Did financially, politically, academically, with education in our community, did things get better? Are our young people working more than what it was before they came into office?
They got worse.
The condition got worse.
Right.
So now we as black people have to do and remember what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. No politician can save the black community.
I was young, I was foolish, I was angry, I was funny, I was charming, I was lucky. Tell me how